Happy May, everyone, and happy Asian American, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander History Month. As you all know, Sacramento is home to our vibrant, diverse Asian American Pacific Islander community that continues to shape our city's cultural and economic and civic life. And nearly 20% of Sacramento residents identify as Asian American, Native Hawaiian, Pacific Islander, and more than 6,000 small minority-owned businesses are owned by Asian American Pacific Islander. And they contribute to our city's economy. And so today I have the honor of presenting this year's Asian American, Native Hawaiian, Pacific Islander resolution to two organizations, but acknowledging three individuals and organization that has done incredible work in our Asian American community. The first is Ngau'ia, representing California Defense. The second is Moise, representing the Asian American Liberation Network. And the third is Steve, our very own city staff, City Attorney Steve, who represents the Asian American Employees Resource Group. This year's theme across the country for our API History Month is protecting Asian American, Native Hawaiian, Pacific Islander immigrant and refugee communities to ensure a safe and inclusive Sacramento for all. As many of you all know, across our country right now in this moment, so many of our immigrant and refugee communities are facing growing uncertainty through increased enforcement, surveillance, and policy that impacts our family's sense of safety and belonging in this country. And right here in Sacramento, we have the responsibility to respond, not just with words, but with action and partnership. And I want to take a moment to center two amazing API organizations that have been on the front line, holding the line and putting their hearts, their arms, their bodies literally on the line to protect our immigrant and refugee AAPI families. I want to ask Ngau'ia from Cal Defense to come up and Moise from the Asian American Liberation Network to come up. Both of these organizations have done such incredible work in our community. They are trusted messengers, deeply rooted in our community. They connect families to resources. They provide culturally responsive support, and they advocate for justice and dignity. Their work is incredibly important in this moment because when our most vulnerable communities feel safe, our entire city is stronger. Oftentimes, I get phone calls from community members when someone's taken by ICE, and there is no safety plan for many of our AAPI families. And the first person on dial, I call Ngau'ia, and she has a link of Community Coalition of culturally competent, relevant programs and services to really provide for our families that are impacted with what's going on in our region. And so I want to take a moment just to really celebrate Ngau'ia's incredible work, and also Moise at the Asian American Liberation Network. They work closely together. I also want to ask Steve to come up here as well. And anyone that's part of the AAPI Employees Resource Group. Want to take a moment to also acknowledge our incredible staff that is the backbone of our city. Our AAPI Employee Resource Group is so important in the work that we do. They actually restarted during the pandemic, during COVID. It had actually kind of dismantled, but it came back actually during the pandemic when I became a councilwoman in 2020. And it was the purpose of it when they came back was to actually hold space for our employees at the height of anti-Asian hate. And many employees actually didn't feel safe. They feel like they weren't being heard. And our city staff came together, restarted the group to hold learning spaces, to hold safe spaces, to talk about the issues impacting our Asian American Pacific Islander community. And they've continued to do the work to hold the space for our employees, to build community, and to support one another. And so all the work that we do from our nonprofits to our city staff is so important in making sure that we create the conditions for belonging for our diverse communities. And so I love to take this opportunity just to hand the mic back to all of you and for you all to say a few words. We can start with Ngau'ia and then Moise and then Steve. You'll drop the mic.
Welcome. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Council and Mayor, and thank you for recognizing AANHPI Heritage Month through the resolution protecting AANHPI immigrant and refugee communities to ensure a safe and inclusive Sacramento for all. I am Ngau'ia Yang, the Director of Cal Defense, a community-driven initiative dedicated to protecting Southeast Asian and other refugee and immigrant families from detention and deportation. Southeast Asian communities began arriving in Sacramento and across the United States as refugees in the aftermath of the U.S. wars in Cambodia, Laos, and Vietnam. Today, more than 35,000 Southeast Asians call the city of Sacramento home. Sacramento is also home to the largest Yumian population in the United States and the second largest Hmong population in California. We are your teachers, small business owners, homeowners, healthcare workers, public servants, students, artists, faith leaders, and neighbors. We contribute every day to Sacramento's economy, workforce, schools, culture, and we work with you all to build Sacramento's future. For many of us, Sacramento is the only home that we have ever truly known, whether we were born here or arrived here as refugee children and grew up in this city. I'm honored and humbled to accept this resolution on behalf of so many community members and organizations whose labor, sacrifice, and leadership often go unseen. I ask the mayor and city council to stand with Sacramento's AANHPI communities, not only in words, but in action. Help ensure that every AANHPI resident and every immigrant and refugee family in Sacramento have the dignity, safety, and opportunity to continue calling this city home. No family should have to live in fear of being torn apart by ICE detention or deportation. A truly safe and inclusive Sacramento is one where everyone and every family can live with a true sense of belonging. Thank you so much for this honor.
Thank you very much.
Good evening, council members. My name is Moise. As you mentioned, I am the Organizing and Advocacy Manager for Asian American Liberation Network. Council member, I think you said it best. Our communities are not a monolith. We're really diverse. Growing up as a South Asian, I didn't even know that I was considered Asian. And so having resolutions like these, having the broad pan-Asian organizing across all of our different diasporas, across all of our different ethnicities, which is what Asian American Liberation Network is committed to, is really important. We are an organization that was founded in 2020, coming off of the wake of not just the crisis of COVID-19, but also the joint crisis that followed it of anti-Asian hate as well, holding lots of healing circles and programmatic spaces and resources for our community members. Since then, we've grown, and in the theme of tonight's resolution, in keeping our communities, our immigrant communities in particular, safe, have been working alongside a number of you on bringing forward policies, and I thank you for your cooperation in bringing those forward. We've also been working on a regional immigration services and resources toolkit. At our website, you can go to aalnsac.org/RISR toolkit that consolidates the region's varied resources that many of the direct service providers, like Cal Defense, like the Fuel Network, like the Refugee Coalition, so many great organizations across Sacramento are serving our communities, and so we've created that pamphlet as well as a digital version on our website. And with that, I thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes.
Why don't we have you come up here, and then all of our API staff as well, come up and join us.
Join us, yes.
Yeah.
If you're in the audience. You all should be in here.
I was going to say, it's easy. You guys have somebody else can take the photo. Come on.
Monica, come on. You just need a photographer.
Leanne, Johnny,
Jump in there.
come in the front here, guys.
There you go.
You guys should get in
Squeeze
it.
in.
Squeeze in,
Take
squeeze
it.
in.
Family squeeze in.
For you. I'm not a staff. No? No, I'm a boo.
But you can take, I'm coming.
Have Austin take it.
That's never a good idea. Yes, you are.
All right, official camera, 1, 2, 3.